So hey guys, it's me once again, and I've been sitting here for way too long. So here's the plan. I want to make an alliance character for Draenor. I will still have my druid. I will, raid on my druid, but I want to have an alliance character for a couple of reasons. First of all, I want to see the story of Draenor with an alliance character. I did the same thing with Cataclysm. I just made a paladin. I went through the story and kind of enjoyed it, and then I deleted the paladin. So I kind of want to do the same thing for Draenor. Now, next, I want to do more events, with subscribers, and obviously there are subscribers that play Alliance. So, I want to have a character to do stuff with them, and I just don't know which class or race. So the races are human. Humans are going to be pretty damn strong in PvE in Draenor, because you can choose two secondary stats. You can actually choose them. So if you have two specs and they have completely different stats, you can switch them around, which is pretty damn strong. Alliance is getting a lot of buff in terms of PvE, and Horde is getting a lot of nerfs. So, that's pretty good. Also, the Insignia Trinket is kind of good on certain bosses, If you get rooted, you can use it, and you don't need a trinket or something. That's pretty good. So, that's humans. Dwarfs. The one interesting racial passive is that they have more crit damage, which is interesting. If you pick a class like a Warlock, you get more crit damage, which benefits your Chaos Bolts and stuff like that. So that could be kind of interesting as well. So that's good. They have lot more. Not lot more, but they have more crit damage. And the last is a gnomes. Actually, I don't like Night Elves, Draenei, or Worgen, or are you fucking kidding me? So, gnomes. Gnomes are gonna get expanded mind, but they're updating it so that it gives you more rage, energy, runic power, and I think focus as well for hunters. So that's kind of interesting. Okay, so these are the three races I'm thinking about: human, dwarf, and a gnome. Now the class, definitely not a druid anymore. Okay, so that's not a thing. Definitely not a Death Knight. I have level 76 Death Knight, and I just don't like it. I kind of like Blood, but Frost and Unholy, I don't know. Not really like it. Druid, I don't want another Druid. Monk, not really. Not really a monk person. Warlocks, no, they're gonna get nerfed to the ground. So, Warlocks, no, because there's a very high chance that they will get nerfed to the ground once Draenor comes out. Mage is kind of interesting because the three specs are kind of different, but you need pretty much two sets of gear, or you need to at least reforge, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe with the gear thing where your gear adjusts to your spec, that might work, but not quite sure yet. But they're kind of different, they're not too different, like going from a balance to feral, but they're kind of similar where when you learn one, you can apply some of that knowledge to another spec. So that could be good. Shaman, no. Okay, I got my enhancement shaman to level 30 something. Just don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't like it. It's maybe because I just don't like to be a melee anymore in PvE. So enhancement shaman is a no. Elemental shaman, that's a possibility, and resto shaman, no. Okay, so maybe an elemental shaman. Mage, elemental shaman. But then again, having one spec is pretty bad. One spec. What if elemental goes to shit? I suddenly have a class that has one shitty spec that I like, or two good specs that I don't like. So that's probably not a good thing. Priest. Now, Priest. A lot of my friends enjoy playing Shadow Priest. Also, the fact that you have two different specs, two different healing specs, where Holy is more like a druid, where you actually heal people instead of shielding them and annoying other healers. So that's good. And Discipline, you can do a bit of damage, which translates into healing. So not bad either. And Shadow, as I've said, is a lot of fun. That's what my friends said. say. Rogues, I don't really like classes that are limited too much by their resource, which rogues are. You know, you need to take your time, and you kind of have to pool energy, which a lot of people, say, oh, you need a lot of skill in order to pool energy. In my opinion, it's just a lazy design, where you have a shitty design where you need to wait for things and you can't really do anything in between, and you're trying to get the most out of it because you already have that class, so you don't want to feel it like a waste. And I just don't like it. I tried rogues, I tried feral druids, it just doesn't work for me. It's kind of the same thing with monks. Don't they have energy as well? It just doesn't really work with me. Hunter is good because the three specs are kinda similar, where if one spec goes down the shithole, the other two specs are similar enough that you can change spec, and it's not really that different. And the gear isn't a big issue with hunters. Okay, you can still perform kind of average with different gear. So if you have gear for marksman and you suddenly have to change to beastmaster, you're not gonna be shite. As in, if you're a boomkin, you change into feral, you don't have gear, you're fucked. So hunter, definitely a possibility. The one big downside is a pet class. It's the same thing with warlock. I just don't like pet classes. Okay, pets can die, and you basically, instead of really taking in the environment and watching everything happening, you need to kind of keep an eye on your pet, and I feel like that's an unnecessary distraction for me. We have a paladin. I don't like paladins. I tried prot. I have a level 90 paladin. I tried prot. Nope. If you don't have vengeance, you're shit. You can't do anything. Okay, and you're very squishy. You're a paper tank. Retribution. No, just no. And holy, you're spamming AoE heals. Not very good. Warrior. Protection warrior. Possibility. A really big possibility. But then again, okay, it's kind of the same thing as with the shaman, where I like protection, I kind of dislike arms, and I just don't like fury. Okay, I have my warrior at level 60 something, and I just no. Just no. And they're kind of like moonkins, where if you don't have gear, you're shit. If you have too much gear, you're overpowered. Blizzard nerfs you, and then you're shit. So, yeah. That's kind of another thing. So the biggest possibilities, the biggest candidates are priest and a mage. I'm really leaning towards priest because I always wanted a priest, because I liked its style of healing. And I kind of like what chakras do now, and just the thing that you're a healer, and suddenly, you're a holy priest. Suddenly this fight is really bad for holy priests. What you do? If you're a druid, maybe you can go moonkin, but we need another healer, so you can jump and be a discipline priest. That's kind of cool, and you can also be a shadow priest. So having 2 heal specs and 1 DPS spec, I think, is the big thing. So I'm currently leaning towards dwarf priest. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm not even thinking about females. It might be a human female or a gnome female. Just, I don't know. Currently, what I know is the problem with holy priests is mana. They're kind of battling with mana. I think they're like the only healer that actually does that. So a gnome might be good, because they're gonna get more mana. Not too much mana, but they're gonna get more mana. Humans have more spirit, but they're gonna change that, where you can choose these 2 different secondary stats. And yeah, I don't know. It's mostly between human, dwarf, and gnome, and priest and mage. Also all 3 of these can be priest and a mage, so that's a good thing. I can be whatever race I want with these 2 specs or classes. So yeah, I'm thinking about dwarf priest. You know, that's the thing I'm leaning towards. But the best choice would be human priest, because definitely as we go into Draenor, you know, holy priests and discipline priests will have different secondary stats. So as well as you can basically change from holy to discipline to shadow, you can tweak your secondary stats to suit that spec. So you know, the best for me would be dwarf priest. The min-max potential comes from human priest, which is very appealing to me. But those are the ones I'm leaning towards the most. I would like you to leave some suggestions and tell me what you think about it. I'll probably give the priest a go. I will try it out. I'll play a couple of levels, maybe do some dungeons, do some PvP, and see what it's like. And yeah, then I will decide. But I want to hear what you think about this. You know, this is my reasoning and my thoughts behind this. I want to hear something from you as well. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.